All right, looks like we're recording.
Okay, great.
All right, so just for the sake of the recording, to create the Capstone ePortfolio, you go to the menu here, you go to Work, you go to My Coursework, and then you click on New Portfolio. You type in something that you want your instructor to see, a name for your ePortfolio, and it is highly recommended to add your name so that they know that who they're looking at, which portfolio they're looking at, and just make sure to pick the MSLD Capstone ePortfolio template. That is required. It's already linked and ready to submit once you're done with the whole ePortfolio. So I've already created it. All right, what did I name mine? Here we go. My Leadership Journey, Anna Gonzalez. I'm going to click on it, click on Edit Portfolio to start editing it. We got the Home tab here, so now let's start adding pages. So in order to add pages, you click Enable Table of Contents Edit Mode. That's this blue button here right on top of Home.
I think we lost, I think the recording, I think there was a jog in the recording. I think we missed us. We didn't get to see a step because there was a bleep.
Oh, okay. I didn't do much. All I did was click on the Enable Table of Contents Edit Mode to start adding pages. It turns green. Okay, so you click on Home, and you should see a little Add button. Click on that Add button, and you'll start with your first page. So my home page is going to be my introduction page. So I'll leave the home page for an introduction to the whole ePortfolio. But we want to do, or at least my suggestion would be to do maybe 3 sections, the beginning of your journey, the middle of your journey, and the end to start. You can definitely do more. You can do 1 page per course. You can divide it in groups that you think you made significant changes or significant improvements in your journey. For the sake of this, I'm just going to do 3 basic: beginning, middle, and end, just to start getting pages in there. So this one's going to be something like My Journey Begins. Okay, I want to add another page, so I'm going to click on Home because I want it to be under the Home page. And I'm going to call it My Journey Halfway. Okay. And please feel free to take this opportunity to start adding pages if you want to do just test pages, just to have those in there and name them later on. Please feel free.
Well, you're so fast. Let's give people just a minute to sort of catch up.
Yes.
So you can rename these after. So if I just write test 1, test 2.
Yes, you can click on, once you click on it, you'll see new buttons appear right on top of Home, rename and a delete. So, and as you click them, the buttons will appear.
Oh, okay.
I even misspelled one, so I have to fix it. I think I'm going to add 1 more.
Okay.
Oh, I accidentally added 1. And delete it. All right, let me know if everyone's caught up, and I'll continue.
This should be.
Generally, I see people have 3, 4, 5, no more than that. So you might want to do, maybe an intro, beginning, middle, and end. You might want to do one kind of as a conclusion. Maybe you want to do one just for your electives. No more than 5.
Okay. 4 it is. No.
Okay. And I think if you just sat down and kind of did a mind map and mapped it out, it would become kind of pretty obvious to you how you would, if that's your brainstorming technique. Not everybody likes to do that. But, if you just sat down did an outline and figured it out, no need to make it harder than it already is.
Right. couple of more things too that I wanted to mention. You can move the pages around by just dragging them. So I ended up putting one at the end, but I really wanted it somewhere in the middle. So I'm just going to drag it around.
Kathy, if we wanted to put our resume in here, would you say put in a different?
I've seen people just stick it on the last page.
Okay.
And Anna's going to talk about how to import things from your portfolio, your ePortfolio, and she's going to talk about how to bring new things in, right? Like your resume, Anna?
Mm-hmm. Uploading files, ways to upload them, how the file library works, images, also how to embed them in there, and videos too.
Okay, good.
Should I move on?
Yes, I think we're good.
Mm-hmm.
Are we
All right.
good, Danielle?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I created this extra one here. I'm going to delete it. Again, you just click on each page and you'll have the option to delete it. Are you sure you want to delete this? You get this little pop-up about that. I'll click OK. You can add sub-pages to each one of them. Just click the page where you want the sub-pages to appear in, and you'll get those little buttons appear again, add, rename, delete. So I actually want to do one page for each one of my courses. So again, this is up to you how you want to do it. Again, it depends how you feel this should be grouped based on your learning experience. For the sake of this, I'm just going to break it down. So I'm just adding pages. Sub-pages is what we call them. Gonna move one around.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's in the wrong order, but you knew that.
Yes, just a little bit out of order.
There, that's better.
I'll just create one more before we move on. Okay, fine, I'll add the capstone. Okay, great. So I've got my pages created and I'm ready to go in there and start adding content. Shall I move on? Do I give it a little bit of time? Okay. All right, so before I do this, I found that either opening my original leadership table of contents separately in another tab is useful because there will be a lot of back and forth between either your leadership ePortfolio in Chalk and Wire and your Moodle. The other thing that I found helpful is to download the leadership ePortfolio as a PDF, and I just find it cleaner to compare between both. In order to download it as a...
I don't understand what you mean by that.
So let's say you're working on this on your table of contents right now, and you want to keep referring back to your leadership ePortfolio, the programmatic one, the one that you've been working on through all the courses. There's different ways of comparing between both, so you can go back and forth. Because when I was trying to build this, I found myself going back into Moodle a lot, into my leadership ePortfolio, just to see what I did, how I wanted to organize it in here. So one method is to have it open in a separate tab. Other method is to download the leadership ePortfolio as a PDF, which is actually this button right here. If you go into your leadership ePortfolio, it's going to look just like this, and it's going to have this button. And if you download it as a PDF, it's going to be very organized. Actually, I can show you how that looked like for me.
We go back to work. Like, how do you get there?
Yes, so you go back to work, my coursework. It's the same way that we,
Uh-oh.
error.
Page I got.
Yeah.
You got that too? Oh, hopefully they're not doing maintenance.
Hmm. Okay, I'm going to go to menu, work, my coursework. Oh, there we go again. All right, let's try refreshing. Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
And when I did log in there, it didn't work. I had to log out of my initial page, but it might work for you.
Okay. The other way to access it is if you're in your dashboard, it's going to be the portfolios tab. So there's really two ways to do it. Either go through your dashboard or go through menu, work, my coursework. So now that I'm here, I might as well just go to my portfolios tab on the dashboard. All right, so here is my leadership ePortfolio that I worked on throughout the program. Here it is. Great. So I'm going to download it as a PDF. And actually, I already did it, and I already have it open. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like.
Oh, so then you can save it. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep, you can save it into your computer.
Gotcha.
And it's just for your personal reference. It's just to kind of see what you've done and how you want to organize your capstone as you build it with these assignments.
So yours is 125 pages. Does it have all of your assignments in it?
This one has the 3 courses I took because I did take some leadership courses. It's got 3 of them, but I think it has everything, like all the assignments from all the future courses too. So,
Okay.
and there's like, it's spread out. Let me see if
Oh, look, there's the competencies. Okay. Oh, nice.
And this is a link to the PDF on the browser. So if I click on this, it actually takes me to the original assignment that I did, and it'll download it. So this is really just going into Chalk and Wire into my library and downloading what I did.
Okay.
That's back in 2013. Okay, so there's a sample of that. So that's one way to do this. And yeah, 125. It was a very quick download. It did not take that long to download. And this is everything. The other way that I did it was to open it in a separate tab. Let's see, I have a lot of tabs open. Somewhere here. All right. So what I do is to open it in a separate tab, I click Control. I press the Control button and then click on the preview, and it appears as a separate tab over here. And it's actually showing me in the presenter mode. So this is another way of using this as a reference. Let's see if I want to go in here, go to one of the assignments. Let's see what I did. This must be a new one. Hold on, let me find something I did upload. Just to see what that looks like. Oh, I know why it doesn't appear. Okay, because this is a sample leadership table of contents, so I'm not going to have anything here. But if you do, it's going to show in the bottom. So that's probably why it's empty for me. All right, so that's another way, and then you can rearrange the windows to start comparing. All right, so I'm going to go back to my capstone portfolio.
Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so it was...
That one, yep.
All right, so I'm going to start by going into my home page because like the instructions say, we have to at least add something here to be able to submit it into the home page. So I would start out by adding an introduction here. I'm going to go to, so there's a black button here called Add Content. This is where you go to add all your content. If you've worked in Chalk and Wire before, it's the same way to use this as if with using an assignment in a course. It has the same button, the same layout, the same format. So I'm still gonna do a sample here of adding content. So I want to add language. It's asking me where to add it. I have found that adding this all the way at the top looks better in the end. Like when we preview this, it doesn't look like there's a space, because these instructions are not gonna appear in your final view, but it does look like a big gap. So I would suggest just add your introduction all the way at the top. So I'm going to start typing here in the body. Welcome to my capstone ePortfolio. And I'm going to type in something like, in my journey, I learned the following lessons. So this is just like a brief summary of what to expect. My leadership model, self-assessments. I'm just doing this quickly. Self-assessment.
And this is all on that homepage, right?
This is on that homepage, yes. So this is going to be the first page everybody sees.
Okay, so sort of the landing page or something.
Yes. Self-assessments, my conclusions. Okay. And as you notice, there's different features here. Again, these are the same features as your ePortfolio in your program, the one that you did to submit your assignment. So everything should look the same. Should I go over these details too? Would it be helpful, or do I skip that?
I think we're okay.
Yeah, the one thing I would suggest, actually I highly recommend, is not to edit this. There is a quick method to assign a theme to your whole ePortfolio that will format your fonts and colors. So there's no need to spend time on this unless you want to make something specific here stand out and be different than the rest. So that would be my recommendation. Just don't spend time on formatting too much, because that can be easily covered when you choose a theme, which we'll go over.
I have a question, Anna. Is it easier to just write in here, or to go into Word and write what you want and then upload it that way?
So if it's going to be something short and quick, like a couple of sentences, this is okay. If it's going to be like a paragraph, or you need to think about it and kind of do editing, definitely a Word document.
Okay.
I've seen this freeze, and I'm just not talking about chalk and wire alone, like anything in general. Like for me, it just freezes and I lose my work. So I always do Word for bigger projects, but something quick and easy like this, I'll add a couple sentences and just click save. So this is the save button right here. So yeah, so that would be.
So let me add my 2 cents to that one, because sometimes I have a problem if I do something in Word and then I want to insert it in something like this. The formatting can get a little screwy. So sometimes what I'll do if it's getting a little screwy is I'll open up the text editor, and I'll take it from Word and I'll put it in the text editor, and then I'll take it from the text editor and I'll put it in this box. You guys have had the same experience, I can tell. And that saves me a few headaches.
Oh, yeah. Oh, was that the question? Yeah, definitely copy the content in the Word document and paste it in the body. I wouldn't suggest to upload a Word document.
Okay.
Yeah. Any files you want to upload, any Word documents, would be assignments that we already have done. It would be a bit much, I would think. But again, I would leave it to Kathy for any suggestions. And that's a good one. Just paste whatever language in Word into this, but still work on that Word document in case anything happens to the browser. You have it in your Word document. All right, so I'm just going to finish this sentence. In the next page, we will start looking into the journey. All right, I'm done with that. So I'm just going to save it. So saving is always going to be at the top. It won't close for you. If you want to close it, you click the button next to it, to the left of it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and as you can see, my green button to the right is already green, so I can even go ahead and submit this the way it is. But that's how it's going to work for you. Just once you add that here, add any language here, it'll activate.
Should you always submit once you've completed like a section?
No.
Or just wait until the very end?
Yes, because once it's submitted, the instructor will see this and they'll assume it's the final version. So submit is the very last thing you want to do. Okay, and you can move these around. I'd suggest to move it all the way to the top. Again, there's going to be some odd space once we preview this if we leave the instructions at the top. The other thing I wanted to do before continuing, I'm going to go back into the table of contents of my Capstone ePortfolio, is to open a separate tab to preview this. Because for me, well, I'm a type of person that any little edit I do, I want to see the final version right after that. So if you want to do that, I would suggest clicking this to open in a different tab. Again, I press the control button and then click on the preview and it'll create a new tab. And right now I haven't picked a theme, so this is really the basic, the general way it's going to look. So this is what the instructor is going to see. It looks like a website in a sort of way. You have your buttons to navigate to the left. They're always going to be on the left. And then your home page, the first thing you see is going to be on your right-hand side. And then really big on the top is going to be the title of your Capstone ePortfolio. And this is going to appear in every page that you create. So again, we'll go back and change the theme, but this is what you're going to be seeing. Anytime you go back and make an edit, you can just come here and hit refresh and the edit will appear.
And that can be clunky, so just be patient with it.
Yes. All right, so I'm going to go back. And I'm going to go back into my home. Just clicked home and I'm back in here. The other thing that I found useful is to add a link to the next page.
Yes, please.
Here, you do see it here in the editing mode. This says next page here, but when people see it, when the viewer sees it, there's nothing. Like, we're just assuming they're going to go to the next page and just go in order. But if you want to guide them a little bit, or maybe even skip to a certain page at some point, and even have them go back, you can definitely do that. You can definitely put hyperlinks down here. And that's actually the one called Link to a Portfolio page. So it's under Add Contents, and it's the last one under Contents. So I'm going to add one. It's asking me where I want to add it, all the way at the end. So I clicked on it, and it's asking me where do I want to jump. I want to go to my next one, so I'm going to choose My Journey Begins. And
so how did you make it end up there?
So when you choose the option to link,
Yep.
I just click anywhere where it says Insert Content here.
Oh, okay.
So any one of those, you could do it. I just clicked the last one.
Oh, great. Okay.
All right, so this is what it looks like for you in the preview mode. I'm just going to refresh, see what happens. Okay, there we go. So that's what it's going to look like. All right, I haven't added anything there. And then you can add another link here to go back. You can play with it, do different things. I'm going to go back to table of contents. Should I give a few minutes to make some updates on that homepage, add some content there?
Your subscription for your Chalk and Wire is good for 2 years. So if you wanted to create some sort of extra portfolios that maybe you want to play with later when you're done, you can do those while your subscription is good, and you can fuss with them after. But if you say you want to use anything in the Capstone or the ePortfolio for a job interview or show off your work from the Capstone project, you can do it in Chalk and Wire and share it.
Yeah, because if you don't want to renew your subscription at a later point, you could still use your account. It's unlimited. You have it for forever. They haven't given any deadline to us, so you can continue using it to create these web pages or websites, because that's what it's pretty much looking like, a website. And so, but once your subscription is done and it's expired, you can't create any more ePortfolios. So that's the tip. Just create a bunch while you have a chance, so then you can go back and
And you can edit them after, but you just can't create new ones.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And we'll always have the subscriptions posted in the bookstore. So let's say you do want to create new ones, just go to our GSE bookstore and buy a new subscription. We have a 1 year, we have a 1 semester. So you can just, if you just want it for a couple of months, you could do that. And I'll provide a little cheat sheet at the end that has the instructions on how to do so with the bookstore link. So you can keep that just as your resource, as your reference for future terms.
So do they need to import?
So yeah, well, let's go over that next. All right, so I'm gonna go into my next page, which is this one here. And yes, I want to go ahead and import stuff for my leadership ePortfolio. So to do that, now I clicked on my page and I'm in here now. You're gonna have this import content on the right-hand side in blue. Just click that. It's pretty straightforward. You always leave it selected, leave it as it's selected right now, import from a portfolio, and then choose your capstone, I'm sorry, your leadership portfolio, which is, for me, it's this one. It's the one that you use throughout the program. And then it asks you here which ones you want to import. Once you click these, it's going to import the content into the page. It's not going to import it as a separate page. So it depends. Let's say you want to import all the content from these 3 assignments in there, you'd select all 3. For me, I don't have the checkbox because I don't have any assignments in here, but you'll have all these checkboxes available. If you only want to just import one page, just click on that one and the content from there is going to go in there. But if you want to do like a combination of different ones, go ahead and select those.
Is it okay, Kathy, that like a lot of mine, when I'm looking at this, a lot of my classes, we only did the narrative in chalk and wire?
Well, probably 2 or 3 of them, right?
Yeah. PM 804, 820, 810, HRM 810, and LD. Oh, that's this one.
I have a lot for LD 820.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just not showing at all.
I'm surprised you only have one for PM 810.
Yeah.
I have 3.
Yeah, I just have the narrative.
That's interesting.
And it only shows, well, I have 3 that are possible, but I only have 1 that has an actual content in it.
Interesting.
For 820?
No, P.
Or
Oh.
804, I think. 804 or 810?
Oh, I have 2. Yeah, your organizational plan and then your narrative.
Yeah.
Oh, assignments.
Mm.
Yeah, because if there's a couple of narratives, it would probably be in that narrative assignment, wouldn't it? Again, I'm not sure how it's looking like now at this
Every
point.
class has a narrative, and the ones, the electives have just a narrative. They don't have any other
Assignments?
chalk and wire assignments. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see that. I see that there's a narrative for every course.
And they all use the same rubric.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to import my profile. Now there's a little preview button here for the portfolio. So if you're not sure which one you're picking, you can preview it pretty quickly. It opens a separate tab. It won't override it, and you can see it there. So yes, this is the one I want. I'm going to import my profile. And you click, it's all the way to the right, the import button. So you just click on that import button all the way to the right. Okay, import successful. So once you see the green button at the top, you are set. And then click return right next to that. And let's see what this looks like. So here we go. This was my profile. So this is going to have my biography, a picture, and my resume from what I did last time. So I'm going to link that. Just link it to the next page. I want it to go to my next page, LD820. All right, so yeah, so there you have it. That's how you import content into a page.
All right. So
Yep.
this was the actual work that you did in the class, and this is now on the page
Yes.
as text. I didn't know this is the way it worked. And so, and then you submitted your resume as a piece of this, and it ended up as a link.
Well, the text here, I actually typed it myself in the ePortfolio. Like I didn't upload a Word document. This is what I went into Chalk and Wire, and I did one of these at the time in my profile.
Okay.
I added a text block and typed all this up in there. So if this is exactly how it looks in the ePortfolio, I had an image at the top, my typed out text, and then I had uploaded a resume. So it's not any different.
Okay.
God, my resume is terrible. 2015 resume, not so great.
Yeah, mine is like 5 years old, so I'm afraid to look in there actually. Okay.
We'll just show you how much you've grown over the last 5 years.
That's true. Just to compare and see what I've done. All right, so I'm gonna head back. So let's say I'm done with my journey begins with my next, with my page. I'm gonna go, let's say, okay, let's go into doing the theme. Let's choose a theme for the whole ePortfolio. So we wanna go back to the table of contents, which is the place where it's showing all the pages you've built. And you wanna make sure that you don't have the enabled table of contents on. Make sure you're done editing. Just make sure it's blue like this. Click on the setup on the right-hand side. You'd click on Edit Setup.
So slow.
Oh, slower. All right. So we want to expand the setup area here. There's a couple of details that it's showing us here. The portfolio title. This is telling us which table of contents template we have and what theme we have selected.
Okay. Thank you, Anna.
You're welcome. Then to edit that, you click on Edit Setup. We don't want to click on New, Build a Theme. That is to create a theme from scratch. It's very, if you have the time, you can definitely go in here, but I'd say this is quicker. This has it all set up for you. So click Edit Setup. All right.